Well, Sky News can reveal the confidentiality agreement the federal government is requiring employer groups to sign in order to participate in their next suite of workplace reforms, which the business community believes are giving in to a bunch of union demands. Workplace Relations Minister Tony Burke is requiring business groups to sign these agreements if they are to talk with government. Shadow Workplace Relations Minister Micaiah Cash complained about this on Sky News recently.
They've been made to sign, I would call them a gag order. They're not allowed to talk about any of the industrial relations reforms, so they get to respond to announcements that are made by Tony Burke in the media.
The document seems a little draconian, outlining a number of times that all information is confidential and that, quote, confidential information means the proposed models for workplace relations measures intended for introduction into Parliament this year, or further information about the development and content of the proposed models, and other information in any form, whether written, verbal or visual, provided by the government or any other participant. And it goes on to say this agreement they have to sign. This deed shall be construed in accordance with the laws of the Australian Capital Territory, and the recipient submits to the jurisdiction of the courts of the Territory. It goes on to indicate some of the requirements may go into perpetuity, saying that, quote, each of the obligations of this deed shall remain an independent and ongoing obligation and will continue as such after the execution of this deed. I've spoken to Workplace Relations Minister Tony Burke about this. He told me the unions have to sign it too, and he says keeping things confidential will end up with better legislation for the country. Mr Burke says, quote, these agreements were asked for by the Business Council to make sure there was more input because we got to the point of government making decisions. We're going to end up with better legislation out of this, he said.